So I think we can also say that the mind, or what we refer as the mind, is something very, very powerful. It's something very intelligent, it is something very, very powerful. Because it is so powerful, it is also that element about you which can make you suffer a lot, or which can make you flourish also a lot. It's the same mind that created the atom bomb, and it's the same mind that created all the technological developments that we have nowadays. So we can create something with the mind, or we can destroy something with the mind. We can use the mind to really use it and benefit our well-being, but we can also use the mind to destroy our well-being. So the question is, how do you use the mind in the proper way? This is like one question. So, and how now to make better use of the mind, or better use of the presence? This is the point where now it comes to all different types of practices that are existing in this world, like focus on the breath, do your internal work, focus on the movement, focus on the sound, everything that brings you into the presence. Yeah, this one doesn't happen in the past. Yeah, there's nothing more real, there's nothing more direct, nothing more present than something like this. And so to remind yourself also again, to identify, okay, I'm drifting off right now, come back. Because also when you do breathing methods, when I inhale and let's say I feel this stream of air that goes in, also in the moment where your mind is locked on the breath, so you follow the line as good as you can. This can only happen in the present. You cannot feel the breath of the past. There is no breath of the past. There is no inhalation of the future. Whatever you are sensing when you follow the stream of the breath, it's the presence. The breath never happens in the past, and it never happens in the future. It's that direct experience. So that means it doesn't matter eventually what is it that you are, let's say, locking your mind on, as long as it is something that happens in the presence. And this is where all these exercises are coming in. When I talk with you right now, I know what I talk. Yeah? When I'm eating, I feel the sense of the food. When I'm sleeping, I'm really trying to enjoy the sense of body is resting, mind is resting. This is how sleep feels. Yeah, when I'm at a concert, listening to something, these are all type of practices. When I walk out in the street and the sun is shining on my face and the people are sitting there at the coffee and you hear they talking, but I walk and I feel, I sense this is the sunshine, this is the people talking, my feet are moving, I'm here. I know what I do. I know what I'm surrounded with. So being just very present, being very aware. Because without this awareness, it's like, without this awareness, you wouldn't even, or people maybe wouldn't even make a difference, whether you sit in a Porsche or if you just like sit in a Corvette. But if you're aware, you feel very, very clearly. A car that drives like this can only be a Porsche. Yeah. So awareness is key, because without it, there is no enjoyment. Yeah. You don't make use of what you have. Awareness is what is like making it finally real for you. You worked so hard for it. Now you have it. Enjoy it. Yeah, but you can't enjoy it if all the time you think about like last week, or if you think all the time about what happens in the future. Enjoying what you have is you arrive at exactly where you are right now with what you have. That's it. There is no wishing for something more of the future, and there's not wishing for something that wouldn't have happened of the past. No, you're in the presence. That's it. And the more you realize this about yourself, the more you integrate this just into your normal being, then it starts to shift. Yeah, just bring more presence into the present. At the moment, if I talk about myself, if I observe myself, the most of the time I would say I'm present, and I'm realizing when I'm not. So the amount of being absent is what I realize. When I'm absent, I realize it. When I'm present, it's my normal state. For other people, maybe it's the other way around. But this really depends on your personal relation and how much you practice. So eventually, the truth is, you're always present. You just don't know about it. You're over, there's some layer on top of the presence which somehow makes you think you're not in the present, but we're always in the present. Just the realization that you are is not there because it is overlaid by thoughts. If you take the thoughts away, you will realize, oh, there it is. So, and this is exactly a very, very nice point where now, you see, I call it only like this, yes. But the one approach that we have at the moment in this world is, in order for us to be full, to feel full, we need to attain something. We need to do something. You need to have your diploma. You need to have your job. You need to have money. You need to have the first car. You need to have. So that means this approach is about you need. It's about doing.
Yeah.
But the realization that I was just telling you right now that you have yourself is, no, it's not about doing. It's there already. It's there already. It's just covered all the time. So this time is not about adding something there. It's about this year must go. And that one must also go. There it is. Nothing needs to be done. It is something we have to undo. This is the Eastern approach. But there's something about you which is, let's say, stronger than the mind. The mind can be your friend and the mind can be your enemy. And if I'm telling you there are 3 times per day eating, that's it. In the first weeks, let's say when you would stay, like still you're thinking about eating, you're hungry, all of this. But at some point, you will have accepted it. That, okay, 8 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 6 o'clock. You're okay. And what does it mean? Now the real freedom has come. Now you're free. Because even if you're hungry and you say next food is at 6 o'clock, is no problem, I can wait, it's good.
And
let's do something else.
Yeah.
And you're free. Not free is, it's 2 o'clock, I'm already hungry, 4 more hours, I need to eat something. I cannot wait until 6 o'clock anymore. This is not free. See, so this idea of what does freedom mean to you, does it mean you can go to the kitchen anytime you want? No. That means you're slave to the mind. Free is no matter what the mind tell you. You can wait. I can wait. So, and this is where now you see that sometimes it's necessary to have this obvious structure and discipline on the one side. But why? Because it's a helpful way to bring out that type of freedom. It's also not the freedom in terms of especially you walk through Cluj, many beautiful women, but at home you have like your own women sitting already. Now you could say, well, it's a free world, we're all free, so my wife is at home, but actually I can still flirt around. This is a way of where you say, well, this is freedom. Yeah, but where does this type of freedom lead to? It's leading to suffering.
Yeah.
You're causing suffering. by behaving this type of free. No, if you have one wife, you stay with that one wife, that's it. And you stay free from suffering. But if somebody is tempted too much, if somebody cannot handle his temptation,
he's not free.
No, he's enslaved by temptation. And at some point, this type of behavior is not just going to bring suffering to you, it also brings suffering to everyone that you are involving in. So this is where I say, what type of freedom are you talking about? And the freedom that eventually is going to get onto the costs or is causing suffering to you and other ones, this is not the freedom we want. It's the type of freedom that makes us be able to live together in a community way better. This is the way of freedom. Where I can let you live the life how you like to live it, and you let me live my life how I like to live it. I don't need to tell you your way is wrong, you should live like I do. No, this is not free, this is limited. This is thinking you have the answers to the questions of the universe. Well, you don't. Just as like I don't have them. But that definition of freedom, to do what you want at any time that you want, just feel free without any type of restriction. I don't think this is the way how a human in this world is learning to grow. So there is, for example, derived from the ancient teachings, a saying that there is no progress, there is no development without restriction. And this means, for example, sometimes you need to have somebody telling you what you are supposed to do. Even if you feel like sleeping until like 10, 11 o'clock, well, it's not good to do. It's wake up, do your disciplined structure, and then learn, first of all, to just do things which are not based on your own sense of comfort, let's call it like this. But this sense of comfort is not helpful when it comes to developing yourself. So one thing I realized for myself is not the amount of time, how much I spent lying horizontally, which matters. So it's not the fact of lying which matters, it's the question of how much do you recover during that state. So, and that means recovery can only happen if there is no usage, let's say, of energy. It's like, when we have our phones, or you have the iPad, even if you plug it into electricity, but you still have a lot of programs running there, still can mean that 3 hours later, nothing has changed in the amount of battery capacity. Okay, so that means being plugged in, but then at the same time having as inactive as possible, then it starts recovering. So, and similar like this, I think it refers to us humans as well. So that means, what is it in the evening that is sucking energy most probably? Well, probably it's not moving, because this is what the body is supposed not to do. So staying still is the mind. It's the mind activity very much, which is sucking a lot of energy. Meaning like you go to bed, you wake up in the morning, but still feel like very tired and not recovered. Well, it might be the reason that your brain, your mind is still too active in the evening. And this is again where it comes from, to discover, okay, stop thinking too much of the past, stop dreaming too much about the future, practice yourself, remain in the present. So, and this also then translates afterwards into your quality of sleep, because when you sleep, you sleep. When you eat, you eat. When you talk, you talk. When you work, you work. But nowadays, people work and they think about eating. People eat and they think about sleeping. People sleep and they think about working. So there's something not aligned. See, so there is no synchronicity. You are here, but actually something else is there. And this is not how it's supposed to be. Being present means you sleep, you sleep. You talk, you talk. You eat, you eat. You walk, you walk. You drive, you drive. You listen, you listen. This is ultimately where all of this journey goes. And then the amount of sleep is not so important, but the recovery rate is very, very different. And this is also very interesting now when it comes to that word energy on the one side, and also how it is related to diet, breathing, and lifestyle. So the quickest way to, let's say, change something about the way how you feel during the day, or about your energy state, are these three things: diet, breath work, and lifestyle. If you have good nutritious food, if your breathing apparatus is working properly, and if your lifestyle, let's say waking up at a certain time, going to bed early enough, having enough sleep, if you maintain all of these three things, chances are very, very good that your energy level is proper. Yeah. If the diet is not good, if your breath is not good, if your lifestyle is not good, still you're alive somehow, but the energy that is now being sucked out from you in order to make you still functioning, it is coming from something that we, let's say, in the ancient tradition call, it comes from your essence. The essence that in traditional Chinese medicine we regard as being stored in the kidneys. Yeah, so the kidney, which means ultimately, to make it short, no good lifestyle, no good food, no good breath, life short. You die early. So that's it. The only thing I'm sharing right now is my observation. I don't say it's right for anyone. I just say until now, everything we talked about, it worked for me. If something is useful from what we have talked about and somebody tries it out and then realize, cool, also works for me, I'm really happy about it. But if somebody says, well, this is not my way of living, I don't share this opinion, it's not a problem.